one in the mission that we share together. We were about bringing people together at all different levels in order to basically make a change in the world and a change in families' lives.
Pranay Family Health Service is a certified home health and social service agency. We were founded by the Little Sisters of the Assumption back in 1955. The name Pranay Family Health Service comes from Father Stephen Pranay, who was the founder of the Little Sisters of the Assumption. This was back in Paris, France in the 1800s when he had a group of young boys and one boy stopped coming to group. So he went to the home to find out what was wrong and why the child wasn't coming to group. And he found the mother was sick, the father was out looking for work, and this was during the Industrial Revolution when people moved into Paris from the countryside and they didn't have the support of the extended family like they did in their homes. So it's very similar to what Worcester is like today, where families don't sometimes want to know their neighbors. They don't have the grandmother upstairs or the aunt and uncle. Sometimes they're afraid of their neighbors because of crime or drugs. So families are isolated, and that's what Pranay Family Health Service is all about. The mission of the Little Sisters of the Assumption was to strengthen families, and that's what our mission is today.
In the past, we were working with mostly intact families, and the changes today are with families who are in all different levels of being family and in crisis. As we began to grow, we needed to bring more people in to meet the needs of the Worcester community, more experienced people who can help to develop the programs that we have today.
I think what originally drew me to the organization was its mission, its connectedness to the community, its commitments to supporting and strengthening families. Being at an organization that has deep roots in the community and having a long history of serving Worcester was something that really resonated with me personally.
My family is my mission in life. I have 4 boys that are grown now and have grandchildren now, but that was the biggest part of my life, was raising children and realizing the importance of a healthy early start in life. When I found out about this job, doing home visits to newborns, I thought it was right up my alley because of my experience working in hospitals with postpartum, nursery, labor and delivery. But this was a different kind of a job, and I saw that I made a difference.
A few years ago, we merged with Webster Square Daycare. They're now a program of ours. We have a father's program that meets weekly. We serve a few hundred families a week in our emergency assistance program in partnership with a number of local artists. We've been able to create a few murals in the space that really make it feel welcoming and bright and vibrant. Youth were able to contribute through their voices. Some of the kids have been involved in our youth programming for more than half of their lives. So when they come here, they feel like they belong here, and then also the way the building presents itself, they know that they belong here because they've contributed.
We have a continuum of care that we like to emphasize, where we go into the homes when a newborn has just arrived back home, and we focus around teaching responsibility and increasing self-esteem.
We are all a family, and we are in mission together. They are a part of us, and we are a part of them.
Otis, how old are you?
I'm 3 years old.
What's your name?
Otis and Otis.
Yay! So Otis was almost 2 years old, and we had a parent-teacher conference with his teacher at his child care center, and they showed us a report card, and there were 5 boxes that they could check that were considered red flags, and they checked 4 of the 5 boxes, which was a complete shock to my husband and I. They were saying that he wasn't giving eye contact to teachers at school, that he wasn't saying at least 25 words, that he wasn't using everyday objects the way that he should, like a hairbrush or a spoon. We talked to our doctor, and he said, why don't you just call up early intervention and see if they can come over, do an evaluation, and see if he might qualify for some services. Jill and Aneshka were our 2 providers. Jill was our general provider, and Aneshka was our speech therapist. They were both so loving and patient and responding to my texts, just like answering questions on weekends, coming to our house. I mean, Jill even at Thanksgiving drove a Thanksgiving basket to our house, like just very personal, kind attention. We're never gonna forget them and the impact that they had on our lives.
I first learned about Pranay Family Health Services 10 years ago when I started Greater Worcester Community Foundation. We've been funding and supporting a variety of the work that Pranay does over the years, and then it became personal for me when I was pregnant with my daughter in 2022 and was eligible for a newborn home visit after her birth. Amy, who was the nurse, came to visit us about 2 days after we had gotten home from an 8-day hospital stay. The opportunity to have a nurse just come into our house and our home was so comforting after a tough hospital experience where I felt unheard and disempowered. She was really the first person who kind of listened to me, validated a lot of our experience, and was someone who said, you might be having some postpartum mental health issues and there are lots of resources for you, and let's talk about how to get you connected. I actually was flagged for postpartum anxiety by our pediatrician's office because I was brave enough to have a conversation after working with Amy, and I was able to get connected to a really wonderful therapist and had access to her for the first year of my daughter's life. And I really truly do not know where I would have been in my new motherhood without that opportunity and without that experience. I have had friends and coworkers who have also had a newborn home visit and just have equally as positive things to say about the experience.
When you see the breakdown of family, then you have a breakdown of society. Everything is based on family and the strength of family. We've made vows, we've committed ourselves to be in this mission and to serve the people and to serve God. The commitment level of the staff and the board to this mission is what means the most to me in my diminishment and in my desire to see this mission continue. It's not an easy job. When I see the staff, this is their mission. And that means more to me than anything. That mission will continue in a particular way with the support of donors, with the support of the community who recognizes the value of Pranay in the community.
There's a spiritual component to this work that needs to continue.
This is my life's work. Working at Pranay is one of the ways that I really live out my own personal faith.
Pranay has been so supportive to me as a parent, but mostly to Otis as a young person. He's getting all this support early in life. Just knowing that those services exist when you need them is so helpful, and I'm so grateful for them.
I'm so grateful to the donors, to the people who keep us going. It's not just state contracts and insurance reimbursement. It's hard work for our staff that we appreciate the support that people provide.
I think that families can follow Pranay through their entire life cycles, and they're really there with families every step of the way. They're truly a community anchor and pillar in supporting families through it all. And I am just so grateful that they're here in our community.
It's a great honor for me to see how Pranay has evolved, how our mission continues with the people who are engaged today. It really is about empowering families to be healthy and to take charge of their own lives. And that's what keeps our mission going.